Jordan Long here, and today I want to talk about, you know, renting fights owning. Now, a lot of people are going to, some people prefer to own, others prefer to rent. Now, you're always going to hear the people say that both sides have their good and bad, okay? When you rent, it's somebody else's property, so you really don't have too many responsibilities. Yeah, maybe paying your rent or, the utilities, since those would be in your name, and maintaining the property, at least as far as keeping the grass cut up and everything, and trying to keep the house in order. But other responsibilities like mortgage, for example, or land toll or learning toll, fully are the responsibility of the landlord. If anything gets broken, then it's their responsibility, he or she, to have it fixed. Now, a lot of people are going to argue and say, but you don't own the property. They could pull the rug from underneath you. They could kick you out. True, the landlord could choose to sell the property. They could choose not to renew your lease, but usually they'd let you know if they were going to do that. They just don't wake up one day and say, well, I'm selling my rental home. Oh, I'm not renewing the lease. I'm not going to tell you about it. Usually there's a reason, okay? And most landlords, unless they're actually shady, usually don't make a habit of getting their tenants evicted from their properties unless they actually have a reason. I mean, really, it's like they act like the landlord is the landlord, he or she, the landlord, landlady at this point, is some type of, they're going to wake up one morning and they're going to be malicious and they're going to say, time to get you evicted. Oh, I'm choosing to sell the house today and I'm not going to tell you about it. Oh, I'm going to not renew your lease just because I don't want to renew it. There's usually a reason. Either you're busting up the property, you're not paying your rent, or you're doing something that they don't think is right. They just don't, kick you out for no reason. And then you always hear the ownership side. You always hear somebody say, well, after you pay off your mortgage, you own it. Well, you mean you don't own it before you pay off your mortgage? Yeah, I mean, it is yours, but unless you pay the bank or the loan guild off, you're a co-owner, but you still own it. Yeah, but then the thing is, it's all your responsibility. If anything breaks down, you either have to fix it or get someone to fix it. It's your job to maintain the house. It's your job to pay the tax. It's your job to pay whatever utilities or taxes you do owe. And, so whatever, but just because you might end up owning it after you pay your payment off with the bank or the loan guild or whoever you took a loan out for to buy the property, I mean, you can't say that's better. I mean, who goes around? I mean, but if you don't pay your mortgage off, you can have your house repossessed, taken away. And if you own something, how can someone take something you own away from you? I mean, yeah, people claim, well, you own it. Yeah, if you own it, then it's yours. So how can somebody take something from you that's not yours unless they co-own it? You see, the bank or loan guild or whoever you took the loan out with is the co-owner. The only responsibility they may have is paying the learning toll, the land toll. That's about it. But they are still a co-owner until you pay off the mortgage or payment, whatever you want to call it, to get the deed. Then you become the sole owner. So don't say you own it, but you co-own it until you pay off your mortgage with the bank or the loan guild, whoever you took the loan out with. But some people want to make out renting or borrowing out to be evil, bad, no good. Oh, owning is good, but borrowing's evil. I admit that they have their goods and their bads, don't get me wrong. But to say that one side isn't good, people like me who are afraid of, not being able to have enough weird guild to pay off a mortgage with a bank or a loan guild. Now people are going to say, well, Jordan, you paid it off for your truck. Yeah, because I was lucky. I had enough. And most automobile payments aren't as expensive. And they don't last very long. So, but there's always going to be those people that, like owning, but they hate borrowing. But you think all the advantages you would have. Yeah. And all the more responsibilities I already would get. Of course, if I own property, I would get the land toll and the learning toll responsibility on me. Wow. I'd get 2 more responsibilities on me that I don't have. Yeah, I borrow. So I got to pay for borrowing the property. But I still got to pay my utilities. I still got to pay what taxes I owe. My utilities I still owe. So I still got responsibilities. I got to keep the property in a nice shape. Geez. Then to tell me that it'd be great that I own the property and I'm going to get 2 more responsibilities put on me. That's wonderful. I mean, seriously. You can have your wind and your take on borrowing. I like borrowing. I don't think I don't have the confidence and I don't want to own. If that makes me a bad woman, that makes me a bad woman. Okay? There's no proof to say that owning is better than borrowing. It's more of a win, a take, So I choose to borrow. And if something happens, then something happens. Oh well, I have no control over what happens if I borrow versus what if I own. So let me know. What do you prefer? Owning or borrowing? Either way, there's neither no right or wrong answer here. It's just your win, your take. Okay? I prefer borrowing, some prefer owning. But one can't say that one's better, one's more good than the other. They got their good points and their bad points. Okay? I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.